Shalom, family, and much ahava. All praises to Yahuwah for life, health, and strength. Family, I wanted to come in because it's been like a trip to the gatherings to get this information out about this vision. I know it's been a couple weeks since the last time that I came in and posted, but yeah, it's been a heavy weight to bring this out. You know, the boat has been full with water, the winds has been ragged, the seas have been rough, but salvation is on the rise. Okay? So the vision that I had, I was on top of a mountain or a cliffside where I was overlooking the city having a conversation with a friend. And with this conversation we were having, I can't remember the details of the conversation, but I do remember my friend pointing at a dark cloud that was moving from past where we were across to the city that we can see from standing on the cliff. And as this cloud started to reach the city, you could see this dark cloud, start to form into a human figure. And the cloud landed on top of the building. And as it started to land on top of the building, it started to like roar and started swinging and knocking buildings down. So I felt the urgency. So I said to my friend, I need to go down here and see what's going on. So I get into the car and my friend gets into the car and we ride down into the city. And as we get down to the city, to the building that this thing is on top of, we see all the people running out of the building to look and see what's going on. And I walk inside the building and a young lady comes to me and she says, "Where are you going?" And I tell her I have to go up because I need to see what's going on. And she tells me, "No, you shouldn't go up." And as we're having a conversation, there are people coming out of the elevator that are very afraid, they're very frantic, and they're scared. So I get into the elevator and I go up to the top floor. And as the elevator opens, I wake up. Now, in this dream, I've questioned Yahuwah for months and asked him, "What is this?" And through a few acquaintances, he has revealed to me that the cloud represented a principality. That's why it was so huge. And that principality knocking down those buildings represent Israel. And this principality is the principality of abandonment, because abandonment holds so many different spirits under its reign, where it remains hidden. And all praises to the Most High for revealing this thing to me, because I know that I've been asking, what is the thing that is within me that is keeping me far from you, or keeping me at bay from getting to where I need to be or reaching my full potential with you? And he revealed to me abandonment. So I am grateful and thankful for Yahuwah that can give the understanding of dreams and resolve doubts. Okay? And with abandonment, it is a hidden thing that uses other spirits under its rule as different types of symptoms, that we're sitting here and we're fighting against these symptoms, and sometimes we don't even fight against them. Right? So this abandonment can define our emotional way of thinking. It also defines our relationships. It is defined by how we react, how we respond. It affects your physical well-being, your health, right? Because a lot of us are going through certain calamities and certain situations and certain fires, and that spirit of abandonment makes us feel as if Yahuwah has abandoned us in this fire. But he did not abandon us in this fire. He's right there in the fire right along with us. Also, some of the things that are keys to abandonment, he revealed to me Deuteronomy 28, starting at like verse 32 and going all the way down, right? For us to have astonishment of heart, for us to be, for our children to be taken away from us and given to another people, right? So that's us inflicting that same abandonment into our children, as if their parents don't care, right? And I know for myself personally, even in with my own son, my son has taken on some characteristics of some of the children that he's been around, and has felt like he's been abandoned, by me, but he's right here in my face. And I've been going through, these things. I've been going through that fire for probably about 3 years. So I just give glory and honor to Yahuwah, because all while I was coming in giving all of the encouragement that I was giving it because I needed it myself. So sometimes we'll say things out of our mouth that we need to help us ourselves. Okay? All praises to the Most High, because he has put it in my spirit to write a book about this. Like a small help pamphlet. But, I'll be coming in periodically, and I'll be giving some of the things that are necessary to try to help, us to recognize this spirit of abandonment in our lives. Right? Because even with that spirit of abandonment, it starts with childhood neglect and loss. It also is channeled with relationships. If you had a bad relationship and you feel like, this person has done you so wrong, being abandoned by that person emotionally or physically can cause an issue. Right? Also, going through family separations as a child, I've been through those things where, my father never was around, rejected me and said I wasn't his son. My mom and my stepfather separating, which really put the topper on the cake, because that's where my rebellion started. Then, the loss of my mom, made me feel more abandoned, which caused me to spiral and go deeper into foolishness and not being able to cope, because there was nobody who could really understand. And me being put into foster care, well, if you're in foster care, sometimes you don't have people that can fulfill your emotional or physical or psychological needs, because they're busy doing other things with other children, right? And that is where I understand that now I can see that abandonment plays a very, 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 very strong role, because we walk in abandonment because it causes frustration, aggravation, paranoia, loneliness. We would even self-sabotage ourselves. We would overmake ourselves busy, in order to cover it up. But that doesn't help. So I wanted to come in and I wanted to share this. And it's, like I said, it's been like a trip to the gatherings, to be honest, because I've been trying to get this video out for a couple weeks and wasn't able to. But today, all praises to the Most High, I woke up early this morning, got my paperwork out the way, and before it's time for me to walk out this door, I figured I would come in and get this video done, because it's time to put some things in order. Shalom and much ahava. Hope this helps someone.